right, another day, another dollar. Oh, my friend said I need to clean my mirrors. I'm gonna do that. She said, okay, good stuff, but your mirror, like, yeah, it's just smudges. It's just not even smudges because I'm not touching it. It's the fogginess from the shower. I like to get hot in there. So the topic of today, vulnerability. Oh, I'm realizing that I am like a helpless romantic and super emotionally unavailable. Not even because I want to be, but I just, I don't know. I feel like I have the characteristics of someone that is super lovey and flirts all the time, can't seem to control it. And then as soon as someone might express interest, or I might feel like someone's interested or I get interested, I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I gotta find the ick. I gotta find a problem with you or myself, or just like ignore you, just make something up. Um, Friend zone you, friend zone me. I'm not even very sure. But it is a part of the process. And in having conversations with people that are also single and some that are not, I'm learning more about myself because I'm having these thoughts and conversations with them. And I'm like, wait a second, I do that, or I don't do that, or should I do that? There's so many questions, and I wish I had like a life coach. Um, that was, yeah, just like all inclusive life 360, love, career, God, everything. All right, let me put this in my eye because it's weird that I can see out of one and not the other. Okay. I was at my friend's the other day, and she's doing like a cooking she's doing a cooking show on live, and one of the and I'll go on and I'll like ask questions or just kind of be there and just like eat. I'm like, oh great, you're cooking lamb, wonderful, I'm there. But one of the or a couple of the people on her live were like, oh, she's pretty, she just wears glasses. I'm like, oh my god, I guess glasses really does something to face. I personally like my glasses, and I kind of resent that statement. Like, it also makes me feel like one of those, like we're in one of those movies in the early 2000s that we all kind of equally laugh at. Those scenes where it's like, all you had to do was take off your glasses, and she was amazing. Like, I don't think that's true. That's obviously not true. You can see somebody, um, glasses and all, but it just kind of made me laugh. So I'm just trying to be consistent. So I want to be consistent with my contacts. I want to just make sure that I get in the habit of using them so I'm not like so thrown off and I do have to poke my eye. I'm like, I can't do it. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try to make that challenge. All right, so I'm going to get ready for work really quick as I talk about vulnerability. And I think it's pretty fitting that I'm on my way to work as I talk about this because I went to lunch with a coworker a couple of days ago. I don't think he's gonna watch this because he has better things to do. But I won't say his name. And we were just chit chatting. I think this is actually the first time that we had lunch together, just one on one. And he's really cool. Like, we always talk about dating and love and all that stuff while we're at work, just like in our little cubicles and cubbies. Well, I guess we're not really in a cubby, but when we're at our desks, because we're both single, and I'm always talking about love in like practically every conversation I have these days. It's insane. And there was something that he said maybe that prompted my thought or realization that I've never, and I told him, I was like, wow, I'm just realizing this. I don't think maybe I've done it once, I don't know. But I don't tell people I like them, ever. Like, ever. And it's not because I don't, I think, yeah. It's just like, I think I'm an action girl maybe, and I show you with like acts of service or quality time. And I'm also always figuring out whether I like you because it just feels like such a strong declaration that I don't feel good about saying. Like, I don't know, it's very weird. And again, I am a super late bloomer when it comes to a lot of things, especially dealings of love. Like, I'm not out here talking about boys all the time, so this is my moment. I feel like there's definitely a moment where family was starting to get worried, like, oh, what's going on? Like, no, it's not that I don't like them. I'm just not thinking about it. Like, I'm really in this moment falling in love with myself, and it's so amazing. And I know I have to open up a lot more, but in that conversation, I realized that I do not verbally express feelings. So maybe I really do need to seek a therapist. But I don't. I don't know if it's normal to do that. I don't know if I should do that or not. I mean, I think it's probably normal, and I think I should. I think most people do. Like, how are you supposed to know and move forward if you can't even say a few words? Like, I like you. What? Like, it was actually taking me a while to say it just with my coworker and my friend who I called. I was like, hey, I realize I have a problem. I'm like, like it just, ugh. I'm like, why do I get like that? Why am I so childish? Like, maybe the world's not childish. Maybe I am. I mean, no, everyone else is childish as well. But it's just so interesting when I claw back into my brain and think about past relationships and past situationships, and past dealings with men. It is something that it even kind of like gives me pause saying it now. Like, I like someone. It just feels so strong because that means again, I've done some sort of research to know who you are, and people change, I change a lot. So maybe it's also that I don't really trust myself. Like, I don't trust that when I say that I'm interested in someone, that I actually am. Like, what do I like about that person? Am I sure that I like you? So I just end up not saying anything ever. And yesterday I called my like bestie since college, and I talk to him pretty regularly, just kind of catching up. He's actually my therapist, whether he likes it or not. I just call him and it's like, I just have to talk about some things. Like, I really trust him a lot just with my life. I'm like, here you go, I'm gonna dump all my baggage on you. And I'm so thankful to have that relationship and that friendship. I kind of don't mind the waviness. The problem is, it's just like, it's a little sweaty. So yeah, I called my friend who was always there for my shenanigans, and he's just like, Joe, what are you talking about? And I was like, I had a realization. I don't admit to liking anyone ever. Like, not even to my friends. And I have some girlfriends that will swear. I mean, some are just like fully wrong, and I'm like, no, I legit don't like him. I literally just said that I thought he was cute. That's it. But other friends that are like, Joy, will you ever, ever admit that you like anybody? And like, yeah, I will. I'll admit that I like my husband. Because then I'll know I like him. All this other stuff, I feel like is very fleeting because I am a very just wandering soul. I guess I'm kind of like a child. Like I am developing a list of things that I like and I know what I like. But I just feel like I haven't been able to do enough of investigating about men in the past to really fully say that I like that person. I don't think it's something to be said lightly at all. So, it comes with its own problems when you're kind of vibing with somebody and I'm over here like, no, I don't like you. I don't like anybody. I don't like anything. Which is so not true. But when I told him, it's always this part. That's always it's the kitchen. Right back here. But when I told him I do not articulate that at all, he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What do I mean? I said what I mean. I don't tell people I like them. And I know he was probably going in his mind over the men because he knows pretty much everyone that I have dealt with for the most part. Like when I go on dates, usually like I'll call him before, I'll call him after, or at some point, and I'm like, oh, I went on this date. What do you think? And he's like a cheerleader for me. He'd be like, no, do it again, or don't do it again, or forget him. I don't know. He will validate me most of the time, but he'll also like hold me accountable when needed. I don't listen. I allow it. It's gonna be super, super light because I am a sweaty girl and I don't have time to be straightening my hair every day, especially with my fake straightening. But he was like, well, what do you do? What do you say? And I'm like, I don't say anything. And as I said it out loud, I'm like, I don't say anything. I don't say anything. When was the last time I even told somebody that I liked them? And then I was telling him about this guy that I remember liking about 10 years ago. And he broke my heart. And I never told him I liked him. It was just like, I thought it was obvious. I thought that we were like working towards something. And we were talking, we talked every single day, every day for hours for about 5 months. And so I liked it. It was kind of long distance, but it was just like I had a friend. Like I really, really valued his friendship, but I also really liked him. And then I remember one of those phone calls, which was really the last one. He was like, oh, I have a girlfriend. And I lost it internally. I didn't say anything to him, which probably was a fail on my part. I didn't express anything. I was just like, oh, okay. Because what could I do at that point? I just kind of feel like maybe it's a waste of time to communicate, which, as I say out loud, sounds really, really crazy. But he said that, and I was like, I cannot even believe. How did you even find time to have a girlfriend? You talk to me every day for hours. Does she know that you're spending so much time with someone that you have gone at least on one date with when you were in town, and someone that, in hindsight, like we never were able to meet up again physically, but I didn't, so long ago, I didn't really think too much of it. I'm like, I still talk to you every day. It sucks that, I can't make my way over there or you can't make your way over here, but the last thing I thought was that you were gonna just up and get a girlfriend. And the fact that I still even think about that, it's like, it's obviously something that really kind of hurt my feelings. And I'm like really unpacking feelings in general. And I think that even by expressing interest and saying, oh, I like like you is just giving someone the upper hand that I don't want them to have. Which is really, really silly. Like, I don't know. I don't really know what that means. Because now what? I like you, so let's get married? Like, I don't know. And then I've had men say that to me, of course, like, oh, I like you, I fancy you, I wanna, go out with you and be with you, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, you don't. And I actually remember saying that to someone. I remember, it's crazy, I met someone, he was from Germany, he's German. Met him one night, I was out with friends, and just saw someone I liked, I guess, and went for it, because that's kind of what I do. Now I'm kind of like taking a backseat approach a little bit, because I don't really trust myself all the way. But saw him, went over, chatted with him, hung out a little bit, and we ended up kind of like hanging out, and he was just visiting from Germany, so we ended up hanging out like that whole rest of his visit. And he ended up flying back, because we were like messaging, I think on like email or something, and I was like, oh, you should come back, and I just said it kind of loosely. I'm like, you should come back to LA. He booked the flight and came back, and I was so mean to him, I remember, because I was like, I just want to manage your expectations right now, because did you come out for me, or, what are you doing here? And he was pretty expressive. He was just like, I like you, and I don't just want to be your friend. And I was like, but how do you know that? I just kind of felt like he did not like me, because I didn't feel like he really knew me. Like, I don't know. Maybe we didn't have good conversations. Like, we could have. I'm not sure. But I was just like, no, you don't like me. You like the idea of me. You like being in Los Angeles. You like maybe the way I look or something, but you don't like me. And even now, like, trying to unpack that, I mean, I still think I was justified in how I felt or what I said, even though maybe not in my actions, because I just remember just like dogging him pretty much, like not talking to him, just not caring, just being rude, because I did not want him to like me. And I don't know why, because I think I actually did like him, but as soon as he like expressed that he was into me and interested, I was like, okay, relax. What are you talking about? Who do you like? What are you saying? And I just completely shut down. I just remember being so mean. And that's really not what I ever want to do. Like, I just don't want to be a nasty person. I wasn't like yelling at him or anything. Like, I picked him up from the airport, we went out, we hung out, but something told me to run. And just like, don't make this easy. Like, I don't know. Who knows how that could have or would have worked out or turned out. Doesn't matter, so long ago. But I realized men tell me how they feel before I tell them anything. Like, every time. I think every single situation, relationship, whatever, since college, it's been the guy expressing they like me and they don't know where I stand. And even in those moments, I still don't say that I like them. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just asking. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, we're hanging out. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe I said, yeah, I like you. Not convincingly. And maybe that's just because I haven't asked myself that question. Like, maybe next time I just don't even know at what stage you're supposed to know that, you know, or be able to say. Because if that's the case, I like everybody, you know? Like, how are we defining interest? And that's probably a question I have for these minutes. Like, how do you know you like me? And how do I know I like you? Like, I know I kind of like your vibe. I like talking to you, but do I like you or do I like you? And what is like? Like, I'll be feeling like I have a couple likes, and none of these men are thinking about me. So I just feel like it's really safe to not even get super carried away. Like, for me, flirting is so easy because it's still very distant. Like, I can flirt and just leave it alone and drop it. I'm like, that was it. That was all. Okay, bye, and just run off. And so I don't have to worry about the aftermath or even like, okay, you know, the what's next. Oof, I just had a thought. I might have a fear of rejection. Look at me therapizing myself. I mean, I feel like nobody wants to be rejected, right? Like, nobody really wants to put it all on the line and get nothing. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, there could be bad things, I guess, that happen. But for me, I mean, I don't think anybody's really going to cuss me out. And even if it's a little embarrassing, you get over it. People forget, especially if they don't like you, they probably forgot. Maybe I should just practice with somebody I don't really like. Somebody that I'm kind of, no, not crushing on. Somebody that maybe I know likes me. And say, okay, I like you. Now what? Like, what is that even supposed to do? Like, I like you but that just feels so weird. And maybe it's a problem with vulnerability, or maybe it's just like, I don't know, my rejection of nonsense. Ugh. The fly's coming to knock some sense into me. My hair is like, I do not want to be contained. I am sweaty. There's definitely going to be more to unpack on this vulnerability journey, because I have no idea how to even get there. Like, how do I push myself in that arena and just say, all right, I'm going to be vulnerable this season? What does that mean? Because I won't. I can't. I don't want to. I mean, I do, obviously. But it's just like dating, there's just such a game to it that I really don't like. And I guess I'm really playing it myself. I'm not trying to. I'm not out here just like, okay, I'm deciding I'm not going to say anything to you. I'm going to make you do all the work. Well, not necessarily. I'm not really intentionally trying to play a game. I think I'm just childish. I am just afraid of something, like being let down, being heartbroken. Even though I don't mind it, like, I don't mind the idea of being heartbroken, because that means that I have allowed myself to give my heart, and all that comes with it. To like someone seems so flawed. I don't want to like you, I want to love you. Like, likings for children. And then it gives way for me to be mad if you're not performing the way I want you to perform, especially when I don't even have a list of how to do it. Like, you're probably going to fail because you have no idea how to please me, and you probably just don't even care. It just feels weird to just go around throwing like bombs to everybody, and having a roster or whatever it is. And I was telling my friend yesterday that I am very optimistic about this upcoming season. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I think that before I just haven't really, I've been playing the game a little bit. And it's like, no, I don't really play games for the heck of it, but I've just been so disconnected from any potential connection that I could have with someone. So I don't mind going up in certain situations. Like the guy yesterday, I went up to him, DM'd him. I was like, I don't care because you might be gay, so it doesn't even really matter. But if you're not, and I also think there are like cultural differences and barriers where I definitely have noticed that I act and perform a little differently with people outside of my culture. But within my culture, it is like I can just see the game, and I'm like, oh nope, I don't want to play this. Like I don't want to do this whole like takes you 30 minutes to text me now. I gotta take 3 days. Like I can't really say anything because you're calling me a female. Like I don't know. That's something that I am starting to realize. I think I do, and I want to get out of that. But it's just it's all part of just the dating journey. And now that I am aware, and I was telling my friend yesterday that now I'm aware of some of the flaws and just some of the actions that I want and the intentionality that I want to have moving forward, I am allowing myself to just be more open, just overall, like maintaining eye contact for a little bit, flirting and smirking and smiling and being approachable, um, and loving men. Like I've never not liked men, but I've for a long time just been unimpressed and uninterested in just the dating as a whole. I'm like dating, oh okay, cool, like why, what, like I want to get married someday, but dating, that doesn't have to happen. But now I'm like, wait, no, I actually kind of want to learn and go out and meet people, um and let the flirtations like evolve into something else, and like trial and error. It's like, all right, well maybe I can be a little more assertive with this person, and just like I think in this dating stage I personally have to strategize. So I'm like, okay, what's the best way to get the results I want? Like maybe it is the numbers game, and I'm okay with that. But does that mean I have to like really lean into vulnerability and say like, hey, I like you, let's grab coffee? Because that would kill me. I don't want to do that. That's just something for me to think about this weekend. And I think as I go into this weekend, I'm going to lead it with, okay, be vulnerable. Show up in a way that you've put yourself out there, like push yourself a little bit. That's the only way you're going to grow. And what's the worst that can happen? Like, maybe I will ask for a coffee or something. I don't know. I don't really want to because, like, well, that's weird. Why do I want to get coffee with you? I don't. I'll make coffee here. But maybe I will invite someone over this weekend and just say, let's find something to do in the neighborhood. That would be kind of interesting. It doesn't mean that I'm like giving up power. It's just like I'm thinking about you and let's hang out. And if we enjoy this first meeting, then the ball's in your court and you figure it out because now you like me and we've hung out and you're in love with me. But now I've put myself out there. So maybe that's what I'll do this weekend. I have some people I can hit up. So let's just give it a go because there's really nothing to lose. Low stakes. I got a little bit of skin in the game, but it doesn't matter. My husband's out there somewhere. I gotta go. I'm not finding anyone though. My mom and my grandma always tell me, don't go looking for nothing. I'm like, I'm not. I won't. Because I'm not. But sometimes you're just gonna be like, hey, let's kick it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if that actually happens. I actually have a little lunch date that I gotta run to, or it's not a date. It's not a date. But until next time, in the girls' room update. Love you.